So I thought that now with our group growing rapidly, I thought that I might use this opportunity to introduce myself and let everyone know a bit about my story, and why I started the group, etc., and where I'm at the moment with my virtual assistant journey. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jensen, and I live in Upper Hutt, which is in the Wellington region in New Zealand. And I started my virtual assistant journey 7 years ago, almost 7.5 years ago. And previous to that, was working as an executive assistant to a CEO in the city for a corporate company. And I absolutely loved my job. I loved the variety. I got to sit in on board meetings and understand, how business works, why senior managers are making the decisions that they are, and I really got exposed to a lot of things. I also built up my skills a lot because I did event management. I took minutes at the board meeting. I managed inboxes and calendars, and got my hands into many of the things that were going on in the company, and I got to see lots and do lots and learn lots. So with all of those skills, I realized, and so I went on maternity leave. I was having my first son, and realized that because I lived about 40 minutes north of Wellington City, I didn't actually want to commute to work every day and have those long hours away from my son. I've always wanted to do something for myself, and I started trying to think of an amazing idea of something that hasn't been done before, and I couldn't really think of anything. So I just stopped and I thought, why don't I just provide services for what I normally do in my day job, so as an executive assistant. So I started providing executive assistant services, but doing it remotely. Sometimes I would go in on site and do projects and fill in for when EAs were away, etc. But then I realized that I was actually just doing that commute still. It was a bit more on my terms, but I was still in that traffic. So I decided that I would just do things remotely. So I had a business partner at the time. We started it together, and we had our kids were the same age. And so we started it when our kids were 6 months old. We would look after each other's kids when we needed to go off and work on clients and go into the city. So that started evolving really quickly, and we realized that what we'd actually created is a virtual assistant business, and there's this huge industry that we had stumbled upon without realizing what it actually was. So then we started calling ourselves virtual assistants. And when we first got started, and this is one of the key things that I teach in the 7-step guide, if you haven't downloaded that, please do. It takes you through the right way, or the right steps in the right order to be able to do things. So that I talk a lot about focusing on getting your first client as quickly as possible, rather than trying to make your whole business perfect, and getting everything ready and having your website all perfect and business cards, etc., and having everything all done, and then trying to find a client when you've already spent this money and time, where you should have been just choosing a name quickly. So we chose Personal Assistant Solutions to begin with, and we just started going out there and telling people and finding our first clients and networking with the people that we already knew that were in business, and then just trying to go along and meet as many people as possible in our local area. And that very quickly we started to bring on clients. And then a year down the track, or 2 years down the track, we realized that we wanted to change our name, because now we're more established, we've got the clients, we've got the money coming in. Then we changed our name to Strictly Savvy. And we quickly started to need to hire. So we thought that the best option would just be to get some employees. We sacrificed our income a bit in the beginning, or a lot in the beginning, and we hired people, and we wanted to really grow a substantial business. Now that might not be what you want to do, and I would encourage anyone who's wanting to grow that they grow with contractors first and freelancers, rather than having the burden of employees and that risk that comes with it. So if I did it all over again, even though I love my team and I love my business now, and I wouldn't change it. If I was starting again from zero, I would hire contractors and have a contractor team that's delivering the client work. So my why, and this is another thing that I talk about a lot, you've got to keep your why in the front of your mind always with every decision you make in your business. And my why was that I wanted to be able to have the flexibility, freedom, and control of how I spent my time, where I went, what I did, all during the week. And the way that I knew that I could do that was by having a team delivering the work and me not delivering any client work. So that was my why. That's what I concentrated on. That's what I had in the back of my mind every time I would make a decision. So, a new client comes on board, I'm not going to assign them to myself and be delivering the work. Yes, I still do some client work now, but it's more project-based that requires my expertise that I can't have anyone else in the team at the moment. They don't have the skill base to be able to deliver the service. I could just say no to those clients and not do that work, but I actually quite enjoy doing some client work, and so I'm more than happy to do those things. So the structure that I've got to over the last 7 years, and it was definitely hard. If anyone tells you that business is easy, they're lying. There's a lot of hard work that you need to put in, and do things super smart. Do things the easy way, not the hard way. And that's why I really encourage everyone to jump into the members club, because in there's a whole bunch of resources that just fast tracks what you're trying to achieve. So the templates, they're done for you, the swipe files, you can just grab all of those. I set out, how to create a website. I set out how to get your terms of engagement, etc. I have a full template in there, which is the one that I use in my business. So there's so much value in there. So try and do everything the quickest and easiest that you can to begin with. And for some of you, that would be really hard because you want to achieve perfection right from the beginning. And I feel like another reason why people try to get everything perfect and everything set up and create a website, etc. in the beginning, when they're first starting, and not actually try and find that first client, is because that's the scariest part, is trying to find that client. And so naturally, as humans, we're going to try and do what is the most comfortable. And so that means, like, in the background, setting up everything and creating a website, but that's just the wrong way around to do things. And you don't actually need to have a website to be able to get clients. Despite what anyone might tell you, all you need is your LinkedIn profile. So we threw up a really basic, simple website in the beginning. Then once we became more established, we got lots more clients. That's when we changed our name to Strictly Savvy. That's when we got a professional to create our website. And, then we started spending money on marketing, and, we would sponsor some things and advertise on things and go to business expos and things like that to keep continuing to get our name out there. So we didn't do that at the start. We didn't spend that money on those things in the beginning. We just did something super simple, easy, basic, just to get started. So I really encourage anyone who's just starting out on that journey is don't hide behind your computer and do the easy things. Do the hardest thing and the most critical and the most uncomfortable thing, which is trying to find those clients. Do that first. Just choose a name like your name, virtual assistant services, or just something really, really simple just to get you started. You might find that this isn't the business for you, that you might start doing some client work and realize, actually, this isn't matching my why. This doesn't feel right. And so then you haven't wasted money and time and effort getting everything perfect, and then realizing that it's not something you want to do, and then feeling like you can't back out of it because you've invested all of this money and time up front. So that's why, another reason why I encourage everyone just to do something really, really simple just to get started, and that's create a LinkedIn profile. we just did the basics to get started. Then we started spending money and really growing. We employed a number of people over that time. We had our team around 13, 14 by sort of 2016. So that was after 4 years. And made huge mistakes, got ourselves into financial trouble. Anything that could have gone wrong went wrong, and we learned a lot of lessons, which is one of the reasons why I created this group and then the members club as well, is because I didn't want everyone to make those mistakes. And in the members club, there's members in there who are now growing their team, and that is such a critical moment in your business, and you need to be doing that the right way. And there's lots of lessons that I have in there that talk about how to bring on a contractor, what to have in your contract with your contractor, what boundaries you're setting, the expectations, etc. Is really, really key when you are first bringing a contractor on. So yeah, I go through all of that in there, and it's so nice to be able to share all my learnings and everything that I did the wrong way, because after 7 years of being in business and being a virtual assistant, there's so many things that I now know that just would make it so much easier if I knew them right from the start, and I'd set up just like I am now. Because another thing is all of the tech tools. There's a lot of tools that I use in my business now, and there's a lot of tools that we tried. Then we moved on to a better option, and then a better option, and a better option. And, now I can let you all know exactly the tools that you need to get set up, because I've tested them all. I've, used the options, and now I've decided on what is the best option. Over the 7 years, I've done a lot, which has been really fun, a lot of testing of tools, and I just love all of that streamlining and using tools to make it super efficient and putting in automation, etc. So I really love that, thrive on that, which is one of the key services that we provide as a virtual assistant company. So lots of mistakes, lots of heartache, lots of stuff happened. But now, after 7 years, I'm at the point where, just today, I didn't come into the office. So I have a physical office, which you can see behind me, that I lease, and I have 12 team members in New Zealand. I have 5 team members in Cebu and Bohol, like over in the Philippines. And so amongst us in that team of 17, I think it is, we deliver a whole bunch of services to clients in New Zealand, Australia, and we have a client in the Philippines as well. So that's sort of what it looks like today. I have an office manager who does all of the accounts and manages our office. And then I have a sales manager who looks after all of the leads, inquiries, current clients, doing account management, brings on projects, and runs all of that side of things with me, for me. And if there's any issues that come up with clients, and she deals with those. Then I have a head of projects, or head of the creative sort of team that I have. So we deliver website, graphic design, photography, videography services, and so she heads that, and she'll manage all of the leads and inquiries and does the sales for that side of the business. And then I have a team member who has previously been a virtual assistant and in our team, and now we're promoting her to team leader, and then she'll move on to operations manager. So I have built up that team in that way because my why and what I wanted to get the business to now, and I talked about this morning. So this morning I can now not come into the office if I don't want to, or I have something else that I want to do. So we're doing a renovation on our house at the moment. So now the business is at a point where, because I'm not delivering client work and I'm not having to answer the phone or manage leads or anything like that, that's all my team. Now I've got to the point where I can choose how to spend my time. So that is amazing that I'm now at that point. Yes, I still need to be around. The team is still going to have questions. I still need to monitor things closely. track productivity, etc., make sure that we're remaining profitable and all of that stuff. But it's the I don't need to be here day to day, which is where I wanted to get the business and where I now am. So that's totally possible. If you can make some sacrifices in the beginning, totally possible. So, hey, and sorry, I can't see your name because this is a private group and I'm using a tool called Be Live, and so I can't see what your name is. So I'm so sorry that I can't say your name specifically. But you say, hey, Joe, this is great watching this and learning how to get started. As I'm very new, wanting to get confident to start my own business, just wondering where to go for the members part so I can check out the resources you have. So after I finish, I'll pop a link for the members club so that you can check that out. And it's a 7-day free trial, so you can jump in there, see what the resources are like, and go and find all of that information. And there's also a private members Facebook group as well. So I'd love to see you in there. So my message to you is to keep your why. Well, first, figure out what your why is, and really go deep on that. So I wanted to be able to choose where to spend my time because it just gives me so much freedom to be able to do things that I love, have a life that I love, and not feel like I am coming to work 9 to 5 to an office or sitting behind my computer and I have to be there. That's an amazing feeling to have that freedom. And so that is my why. I have kids, so 2 kids where, I could choose to, today I went to my son's assembly because he got an award. And so I can do that because I'm not locked into things that I have on in my calendar. I try to keep my calendar as free as possible. So I can make those decisions to do that. So yeah, that's my why. And so my message is keep your why front of mind all the time. What are you wanting to achieve? What are you wanting it to be like? What are you wanting your life to be like? And then make this little decisions, every little micro decision that you make sure that it's on that path and is not going to hinder you getting to your why or getting to your goal, your vision, keeping your why in mind. So don't make decisions like, let's say your why is to have flexibility and freedom and to be able to go to your kids' things, then you wouldn't be offering telephone answering services unless you have a team that could do that for you. So see how you decide to say no to those things. And I think realizing what you need to say no to is more important than what you say yes to, because you don't want those things to then have you come unstuck in terms of where you want to get to. That's where I'm at now. I also work in the business with my husband. He's a business coach, which has been amazing. He has now come into the business and works half and half. So half it's Strictly Savvy. He runs the finances part, and then half as a business coach. So that is definitely an amazing setup now that we have where we can both work together on the business and have it our business. I think that was him. Yes, that's him there poking his head through. More than happy to answer questions. I know that everyone will have lots of questions, and I know that it can be a bit scary asking questions when it's a large group and everyone being able to read what you say. But I really encourage you. I promise you that other people are wondering the same thing. And there's lots of people in the group who want to get started. Lots of people have sort of tried to get started. Lots of people who are needing to still find their first client. Many have found clients and are super busy and running their VA business. So please don't be afraid to ask any questions that you might have. I'd be happy to answer them and hope to see you in the members club. All right, bye.